breaking news just came down the wire that the Off-White Jordan 5s will be releasing on the 29th of October. Reports have said that they were supposed to come out in December because they got pushed from the 24th, but they will be coming out on the 29th on the sneakers app and select retailers. Make sure you guys are tuned into this channel and other channels. Make sure you get your raffle links, whatever you got to do to secure your pair. But again, they will be releasing primarily through the Nike sneakers app. But let's get into the rest of the video. What is going on, guys? Skip from 4-1 here, and today we were supposed to be talking about the Supreme Nike Air Max Plus, but let's be honest, these are dookie and I don't really feel like talking about them. So today we will be doing the first episode of the news. First up on the news, we have some Nike news. Nike is suing Warren Lotus over his Nike Dunk reinterpretations that he has been doing after his latest pre-order of the Warren Lotus Jason Mask Pigeon Dunk, whatever he's calling it. Warren Lotus is actually very well known in the sneaker and streetwear community, but recently Warren Lotus has been releasing these Dunk reinterpretations, reimaginings. I don't really know what he wants to call them. They're knockoffs, they're Dunk knockoffs. He just literally just changes the swoosh with a swoosh that turns into a Jason Mask. They released a pair that looks like the Stussy Dunks. They released a pair that looks like the Heineken Dunks. They released the most recent pair that looks like the Staple Pigeon Dunks. And I think that was the one that pushed it a little too far. I don't think Nike would have come after them if they didn't push it that far, especially because they got the sign off from Jeff Staple himself to put the pigeon on there. I think that really rubbed Nike the wrong way. Of course, they knew what he was doing the whole time, but it has gotten way out of control. He sold thousands of pairs. He opened up the pre-order for people to just buy pairs. It wasn't like super limited. I think it was like you had 20 minutes or something like that to get your orders in. So it wasn't like there was like 5,000 pairs or whatever. It was like open pre-order. If you got your order in the 20 minutes, you're getting your order. But I really think that Nike is just trying to make an example of Warren Lotus, because recently there's been a ton of brands and people just knocking off Nike's designs, changing the swoosh out for something different. And I think they're just taking Warren Lotus and trying to make an example of him and trying to put their foot down and say, hey, if you do this, we are going to sue you. So it's kind of like a mass cease and desist for all the smaller ones. They're just going after the biggest one. But, you know, it's a small business. I don't want to see them lose their business, but they definitely knew what they were doing and they pushed it a little too far. And honestly, I don't know what they were expecting. I'm pretty sure they were expecting Nike to just put out a cease and desist, but Nike is suing them. They'll probably settle, but Warren Lotus has said that they're going to fight it. So we'll see what happens, because I don't see them winning this at all. As mentioned in the breaking news, the Off-White 5's in sale will be releasing on the sneakers app and select retailers on October 29th. This is actually surprising because a lot of reports were saying that they weren't coming out until the end of the year, more towards the December area, and they pushed them back 5 days. I'm not really sure why they pushed it back 5 days, because they kind of created like a log jam at the last 3 days of October, because it's like the Off-White 5's on the 29th, you got the Dunk High Slam Jams on the 30th, and then you got the Mocha ones on the 31st. So it's like 3 days in a row of like drop instead of spacing them out. I guess it's because they got a lot of Halloween releases this week and they wanted to get those out of the way. But I'm glad they're still coming out this month. Hopefully I catch my W. Hopefully all of you guys out there catch your W's, unless you're a botter. If you're a botter, screw you. Manual Gang 4L. But hope everybody is able to secure their pair. They will retail for $225. So make sure you've got your money ready. Also in sneaker news, there is reportedly a pair of white Oreo Jordan 4s releasing next year, and they look exactly like a pair of white cement 4s. They just changed the tongue tab and the midsole a little bit and the wings on it, but it looks just like a pair of white cement 4s. That's probably why a lot of people, when the colorway first came out, they thought it was the white cement 4s being re-released again. I think last time they came out was 2016 or 2017, one of those. And I really wish they had just given us the white cement 4s again with Nike Air on the back. They had Nike Air on the back on the last ones, but with the new shape, because those were like the old Jordan 4 retro shape. They've changed the shape here in like late 2019, 2020. So I wish they would just give us the white cements again, but these are a clean looking pair of sneakers. I can't lie, but they should have just gave us the white cements. In sports today, tonight starts game 1 of the World Series. We have the Tampa Bay Rays and the LA Dodgers facing off for the World Series championship. Honestly, this is a great matchup for baseball because you've got one of the biggest spenders in baseball with, I think they're second in payroll. They're the first or second in payroll. And you've got the Rays, which are like bottom 2 in payroll, going up against each other. 2 different ways to build a team. We'll see how it fares out. I've got the Dodgers for personal reasons, and plus, you know, go Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are going to take this in 6, but the Rays are not going to go down easy. Very tough team, amazing pitching staff and bullpen, which I think the Dodgers struggle with at time to time. But as you got the pitching and the bullpen against some great bats, Bellinger, Mookie Betts, you know, Muncy. They've got up and down the lineup. They've got hitters. And we'll see how it turns out. Again, I got Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are going to win this in 6. Should be a very good series. Into basketball, there are reports that the Lakers are looking to acquire Chris Paul via the trade from Oklahoma City. Now, I'm not surprised that they are going after another star, even though Chris Paul is a little older. LeBron is always looking to make his teams better. We all know that Anthony Davis, he's going to resign. He's not going anywhere. Why would you? He's playing with the best player in basketball. He's coming off an NBA championship. So why would he leave? The problem with this trade, however, is that Chris Paul's contract is not very team friendly at all. Like, it's not team friendly. And one of the big reasons that the Lakers did end up winning the finals is because of players like KCP coming up big in the last couple games. Danny Green in game 6, he made a couple big shots. Alex Caruso defensively, he was huge. Rondo, like some of these role players that they have, and they might not be able to bring some of these guys back because, like KCP, I know his contract's up. He's probably going to want more money because of how he performed in the playoffs. So, like, bringing some of these guys back, it might thin the team out a little bit. They'll be very top-loaded. But I think if they can do it, they probably should do it. But I think for depth-wise, I don't want them to end up like Boston, where their starting lineup is super solid and they have absolutely no bench. Their bench is useless. So if their starters aren't in the game, they just can't do anything. I think that's Boston's biggest downfall, is they just have no bench. So I think the Lakers need to watch out with trying to top load their team. It could work out for them. Of course, you still have LeBron James. You still have Anthony Davis, the best player in the world, and probably the best big man in the world right now. So if they can get him, much luck to them. I already think that the Lakers are going to repeat. I don't think anybody is going to stop them unless the Warriors manage to pick up another key player, I think the Warriors could be dangerous next year. We know how lethal they can be. I think they'll be the biggest problem for the Lakers next year. Sticking with basketball, Giannis Antetokounmpo has a big decision to make. His contract will be up next season. Hopefully he comes to the Knicks. Please come to the Knicks. But his contract is up next season, and he's got a decision to make. Is he going to re-sign? Of course, they're probably going to give him that supermax contract. But honestly, he's not going anywhere in Milwaukee. I don't see him winning a championship anytime soon. Chris Middleton, he's not the most reliable. I mean, he's not a co-star. He's an all-star, but he's not like he's not like an Anthony Davis. Giannis is kind of a one-man wrecking crew there, and when you shut Giannis, if you can keep Giannis out of the paint, you got a good chance of winning the game. That's just how you can beat that team. So he's got a decision to make. Are they going to bring somebody else in? If I was Giannis personally, I would not sign that contract until they can bring somebody in that can help me get over the hump, and then I'll sign a contract. But until then, I'm not signing the contract. I'll take my chances in free agency. Even if he misses out on some money, I don't think Giannis is the type of guy who is all too worried about the money. He's going to get a lot of money regardless, but I think he really does want to win. He strikes me as a very fierce competitor. You can just see it in how he plays. He's a very fierce competitor, but we'll see where his values lie depending on when he signs the contract. But I really think he shouldn't sign that contract until they're able to bring him in a second co-star that can get him over the hump. Maybe if they can get a guy like Chris Paul, because they need somebody to run that offense. Bledsoe, he totally folded in the playoffs, and they just need somebody to run that show. So if they can get somebody like Chris Paul, which I doubt they probably will, who knows? And last but not least for today, make sure you guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you vote. Make sure you send in your ballots. Make sure if you can go to the polls on voting day, make sure you vote. Who you vote for, that's up to you. Nothing to do with me. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I don't even talk politics on this channel. So just make sure you go out and vote. Make sure your voice is heard. Biden, Trump, third party, doesn't matter to me. Just make sure you go out and actually do it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the first edition of the news. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.